Hey gang, I started editing my videos for the kicking class, and I realized that I started teaching it like I normally teach a kicking class for Rikyu Kempo, where we focus on actually hurting each other. So there's not a lot of talk about missing your opponent for choreography's sake and not damaging your sparring partner or your choreography partner. I'm talking about actually injuring your opponent. So I'm still gonna present it because it's still like basic mechanics on kicking. Just realize that I'm talking about injuring people or at least scoring points during sparring, and not actually any any fake fighting for choreography. So sorry about that. I still had a lot of fun doing this video. I just needed to put this disclaimer that please don't actually pierce your opponent with your foot when you're doing a demo or show. Save that for the ring. All right, thanks. Good afternoon, Saber enthusiasts, on this gorgeous quarantine day. The worst part about the quarantine is the only way we can share time with each other is on crazy internet videos. Today we'll be working on kicking with a lightsaber. Obviously this is just for fun and for choreography work. None of the lightsaber leagues I know of allow kicking during dueling. And also, in a practical sense, if you kick somebody during a sword fight, they're just going to chop off your leg. So obviously this is for fun, developing balance and coordination, and again, kicking is just fun. We'll first start off with the basic front kick. So you want to start out, I'm going to do right leg back, because I'm right-handed, and your basic fighting stance. You can take your saber stance if you want. It doesn't matter. I'm going to back up to make sure you can see my feet in the video. First, alright, take a step back. Maybe you put yourself in your saber stance if you want. It doesn't matter. Let me just demonstrate at full speed. That was a little demonstration-y. So, boom. And I'll demonstrate at full speed so you can see my right leg. So let's break it down. The first step in any kick is your leading leg. You want to point your toe either forward or a little out. I go a little bit exaggerated. What this does is it squares up your hips. All your power comes from your pelvic girdle in almost any kick. So, again, step out. Second step, jam your knee as far up as you can. So it's 1, 2. Now, the third step then is 1, 2, 3. Let's do that with balance. 1, 2, 3. Now, this kick is a strike. It's not a push. It's not a flick. The Japanese terms for kicks loosely translates into like a forward. This kick would be a forward cut. And why they call it that is you're not pushing, you're not flicking the front of the target. You're cutting through the surface of the target. So your front toe, especially in shoes, will go boom. You can practice with the left. Boom. Again, turn the foot out, raise the knee, strike out, and then back down. Better balancing. You can, as a drill, practice your balance by 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you notice me resetting behind you. In actual combat, you're not going to do that. You're going to actually use it as your step forward. So the actual kick in an actual fight would be boom. Notice I don't do anything fancy. Drop your foot straight down. Alright, for editing purposes, let's see if I look better on the left foot. Alright, so turn your toe out. This lines up your pelvic girdle. Drive your knee up. Push it out. Back down. Now it's 2, 3. Now, suppose you want to take the ground in front of you. So 1, 2, 3. And then reset. Alright. So, in actual combat, you want to take the ground that you've just opened up with your kick. So, step it out, front knee up, kick it forward, drop down. Reset if you need to. So, 1, 2, 3, down. Reset. So let's do this with Saber. Now, for an offensive kick like the rear leg kick, you need to open up the situation. You're not going to kick into somebody and they're going to hit your. So what you need to do is set up a parry or a dodge somehow. So, as you open up your toe, it's also a good time to apply a block. So, basic block from the Hungarian box. Boom. Or drop. 3. Boom. So let's just do that drop block for a second. So 1. Now it's Saber blocks. Saber block's toe is out at the same time. 2, 3. Boom. So, let's up the difficulty a little bit more. Since we're already doing part of my my spider web blocking drill. So, 1, 2, 3. Honor set. Block. Strike. Honor set. Alright, let's see if we can do it one-handed. Block. There we go. Let's also cover a front stop kick. Front stop kick it's like a front kick, but it's your front leg doing all the action. It doesn't really cover ground, it just stops somebody coming in on you. So, same thing, your rear foot is already canted out. So, it's up, back, down. So, it's 2, 3, down. 2, 3, down. Let's do what I'm sure everyone else has their own interpretations of how to block and where to block. I like drop blocks because it sets you up to load and strike. With, again, we're doing the ASL FFE rules. So for this, it's block, strike, slash. Again, block, up, strike, slash. Block, strike, slash. Next video. Next basic kick is the roundhouse or turning kick. So again, start off in your fighting stance or your sword stance if you want. Doesn't matter, as long as you're keeping your balance pretty balanced in between your two legs. Here's the fast version. Again, we'll do it this way so you can see. The arc comes around kind of like a baseball bat. When I'm going full speed, I do kind of do some advanced shortcuts that you learn after 20 some odd years of doing martial arts. So, again, take your fighting stance. The first step in almost every kick is to turn your foot out and load up the pelvic chain right here. First step is turn your foot out to get the pelvis in line to deliver the energy. Instead of coming straight up, like in the front kick, you're actually going to come out a little bit to the side. It's called, you know what it looks like. So, comes up, turn on your ball of your foot on the planted foot. So now you're like this. Then extend the foot out. Bring it back down, plant. Let's try it again. 1, turn out. 2, up on one leg. 3, turn. 4, fall down. That's not how you do it. 1, turn out the foot. 2, bring up. Turn more, flick, reset. So, let's speed it up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the idea is that those steps bleed together as you progress. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You notice I'm only getting about, I'd say, mid-chest height. The actual, head strikes are beautiful. And if you can do them, that's great. But the most obvious target is the ribs. Alright, let's try with the lightsaber. Alright. Again, we're going to take from spider webs, drop block, boom, slash. So, we go turn out and drop. Raise up, turn. Still, your block here is still guiding the enemy blade away from you. Strike the ribs, honor sash. So, bringing that all together, 1, 2. I have to check that. That felt badass, but probably looks stupid. Boom. We're in it. We're going to do this like 5 or 6 times and edit them all together. This is a stop kick for front roundhouse. It's awkward and I don't like it, but for completion's sake, let's do it. So, block, pop, strike. It's easy, it's dumb. It really doesn't have much power in it, that's why I don't like it, and it feels a little awkward. So, block, kick, strike. Block, kick, strike. Yeah, it turns into front kick real easy. Block, strike. Alright, next video. This next kick is probably one of the more complicated kicks. It's the rear leg side kick, or also known as the rear leg donkey kick, mainly because of the amount of turning we do in Ryukyu Kimpo to turn it over to get maximum thrust into the kick. And of course, start off in your fighting stance. Make sure your butt is equally balanced in between both legs so you don't have more weight on one leg or the other. And of course, turn the foot out. This one is going to come up and thrust forward like the forward kick. So, turn the foot out, up. Alright, so the next part is you borrow a little bit from what you just learned with roundhouse. So turn leg out, bring the knee up, turn on the planted foot. And of course then is the thrust out, the part that makes it the kick. Again, Japanese interpretation of the word is a cut. So you're actually going through your target, not hitting the side of it, you're not just tapping it, you're cutting through your target. So turn, foot out, knee up, turn, thrust out, and back down. Let's do this at full speed so it bleeds together. Now the unfortunate part about this is that you're kind of faced backwards from your opponent. So make contact, make it hard so you have a chance to recover. So let's do it from the side so you can see. Turn foot, bring up knee, turn out, strike. Obviously, you can also use it to gain a lot of ground. So turn out. Alright, let's see it with the lightsaber. And again, lightsaber actually has helped you visualize the technique here. Because, so, turn out, drop block, just like before. Up, kick, honor sash at an angle. Again, turn out, drop block. Bring it up, turn it, kick, strike. So, one-handed, drop, kick, strike. There is also the front, same sort of front side kick, same sort of thing, block, kick, strike. I'm not a fan of the front leg kicks because it doesn't gain ground on your opponent. And because of the kinetic chains involved, it's not as powerful. You don't get as much oomph into it. But here we go. Drop, kick, turn on your lightsaber. Last kick we're going to learn today is the crescent kick. It is by far the flashiest kick that we have in our arsenal. So, again, take a fighting stance. Then, turn your foot out, of course, but this time, point your toe over to the opposite shoulder side. Let's do this again. This first one, we don't ram the knee up because of the different arc it takes. So, fighting stance, turn the leg out, tap over here. The next bit is why it's called crescent. The arc comes up and over. Now, when you begin, most of you are only going to get about hip height. The ideal height is where your opponent's lightsaber is, because you're going to use it as a fancy little block in your choreography. So, up, step out, arc over, reset. I'll show you from this angle, although it would be a little bit harder to see. And Sensei Agnes, you can step out of the way, please. Nope. Okay. Alright, so open up your foot, step out, up and over. So let's do it real quick, full speed, and we'll get the saber. Up. Now this one's real tricky. If you don't get your angles right, you're going to put a lot of torque on your knee, just like I did there. So make sure that you have some control over it. In Ryukyu Kimpo, I usually set this kick up with an inside block. That way the punch has come in, I've deflected it off my shoulder, and then stepped out. That is actually aiming, it may look like I'm aiming for a face, but my target is actually the bicep tricep area on the arm I just kicked, or I just blocked. So when just shadow boxing or doing drills at home, it's boom, boom. So same thing with the saber. Again, I like drop blocks, so drop block, pow, strike. Actually worked better than I thought. Drop block, turn out, pow, boom. The nature of the kick also lets you kind of step out a little bit into a like elongated back stance to make your technique look cool. Let's do it again. Drop block, turn out, bam, boom. Taking that from a little bit of a eku or sai, not a sai, a joe kata. Alright, let's try it again. Drop block, turn out, boom, do. Alright. Thank you for indulging me today with some kicking silliness. Back to your regularly scheduled saber antics. Good day.